Hi, I'm Hisham, creator of Dr. Hisham's Holistic Oral Care System. And in this video, I want to talk to you about power brushes or electric toothbrushes. Usually they're battery, not really electric, operated toothbrushes. Which ones are best? Which ones work best? There's so much confusion out there. And over the years, we have found more and more clinical evidence, we as practicing dentists, as well as users ourselves, for what works better and what works best for who. So let's have a look at some of the options out there. You get these high-end power brushes which are rotating. They actually rotate and twist when you're using them. I used to love these since they ever came out in the late 90s. I used to love these. I even did TV ads for them. I used to recommend them to all my guests and my family. Unfortunately, over the years, I've realized that they're a bit too aggressive, especially for people like me who clean their gums all the time, as you should, which we'll talk about in other videos, how to do that better. Cleaning your gums with something that rotates like that, especially if there's toothpaste, which is abrasive, all toothpaste are abrasive, on there, will abrade your gums if you put it on your gums all the time. And if you don't put it on your gums, you're not cleaning well. Enamel can withstand that quite easily, but dentine and gums, not very good, really. I always show it to my guests, what I've created. I have grooves right across the sides of my teeth here and here. They're clean, but they're cleanly cleared grooves because I've been using these brushes for years. I think about over a decade, different variations, different brands, and I'm off them totally. Especially these cheaper ones, cheaper versions that rotate like that. They're not just annoying and buzzing, but they're not really very efficient, especially when the design is silly like that. It's very big for anyone to use. Better power brushes, and we have quite a lot of brands these days of those, are sonic brushes. So these do not rotate, they vibrate. Two different brands. You can actually see the vibration there and hear it. So these vibrate like this. They do not rotate. So they're not aggressive. You can put them on your gums quite nicely and easily around your teeth. And I use these for a few years as well. And I still like them. However, my concern is when we get too dependent on any kind of electronic device, we lose dexterity, we lose contact with our inner abilities. And you still can use them wrong. It's not like these are magical devices that just fix everything. We see so many people using electric toothbrushes, sonic brushes, or manual brushes who just clean terribly, and many people who use the most basic of a manual brush who use it fantastically. So the user, like any device, the user determines how well the device works. However, let's just take into context now that the person is using it properly, cleaning their gums and their gum line and their teeth. These are much less aggressive and clean really well. Like I said, my concern with all power brushes really is the loss of dexterity of the human. Lots of plastic, lots of batteries as we keep replacing them that are environmentally totally unfriendly. And we haven't resolved the actual main problem, which is these hard plastic brushes, just like all the other manual hard plastic brushes that we'll talk about in other videos. They're a real environmental hazard because they're actually not even recyclable, because they can't separate this part from that part, and there's other parts inside. So even when you throw them away, they're not even recyclable. Recyclable plastics are better, but if we can get over that, that'll be even better, or we can prolong their use before we dispose of them and recycle them. But if every 3 months you're going to dispose of this and it's not even recyclable, imagine if we all did that. That is a lot, and the loss of dexterity. So in the next video, I'll be talking about what I'm using today, what I'm recommending to all my guests, and showing them. And I've shown this in other videos that you might have seen already, to improve on all of this. Improve the way you clean your gums and your teeth, improve your dexterity, improve your connectedness to what you use, and that energetic connection with natural substances that make you better and help you heal rather than disturb you. I mean, a lot of people actually don't like the noise. My wife doesn't mind it. I don't like that noise personally, but I just got used to it because I knew it was good for me, basically, the brush. But still, I don't want to be disturbed energetically. I don't want to be annoyed by anything, what I put in my mouth or what I do first thing in the morning and last thing at night before I go to sleep. It's not a good way to start your day or end your day. You want that energetic, balancing feeling, that sensual experience that makes your brushing of and cleaning of your mouth a sensual experience rather than a chore. rather than, oh my God, I've got to do this, and oh, this is annoying, and da-da-da. And you know, you're gonna do this for a lifetime. You might as well do it properly, do it physiologically, and do it enjoyably, and in a way that balances you and brings you back to health and harmony rather than disturb you. Having said this, if someone has any disability, any arthritis, inability to use a manual brush, as I will show you in the next video, properly, then there is no harm at all in using this. But that's for a few people who will absolutely need this and cannot replace it. Kids do not usually like these brushes because they're very noisy, so they find them quite disturbing. Well, most of the kids that we have in the practice and in the family, they don't like this at all. But if you have a disability, like I said, do whatever needs to be done. That's definitely out of question that we're going to hold you to one method that works for every human being. But the majority of people who are able and want to improve their dexterity and health and healing, please wait until the next video as I'll show you what we do and how we've developed the world's best biofunctional bamboo toothbrush. And last but not least, do not please at all fall prey to the new gimmicks that are going out there. You might have seen them on online and Facebook and Instagram. They keep coming up to me, obviously, because I research all this stuff all the time. For years and years now, they keep coming up all the time. These ridiculous, put it in your mouth, it brushes everything in 30 seconds while you do something else. That is just plain stupid. Of course, I buy everything, I purchase everything. I don't just agree or disagree without knowing. If I don't know, I'll just tell you I don't know. But I figure stuff out because this is important to me. This is what I do with my life. So these devices, there's many of them out there now. That cool blue light is literally just that, a cool blue light, just to make it look cool, but it doesn't do anything really. There's a lot of disposable silicon here that's hard to recycle. This is very environmentally unfriendly, but worst of all, it is not a functional device. So when you put it in your mouth, I come closer, you can see it sits halfway up my teeth. Now for that, gently sonic brushing, to say that this fits everyone is a ridiculous statement in the first place, because no two jaws are the same. That's one thing, but even when it does fit, like myself, it doesn't go all the way up to the top of my teeth, to my gum line, or to my gums. That, if you use that all the time, that's the worst thing you can do. Please, please, please ditch these rubbishy things, because whatever toothbrush you're using, you've got to get to your gum, you've got to get to your gum line and above the gum line, and of course up and down the teeth as well, as I'll show you in my new technique, the wiggle and jiggle, in the next video. We'll talk about that later. Until I see you the next time, please always aim to look better, feel better, and be better. Thank you.